This is a country which has systematically abused and violated the human rights of its own citizens, including in Balochistan as well as of the people of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir.
Baloch strategy reaches United Nations. India corners Pakistan, raises atrocities against Baloch. More on that top story then. For the first time, India has raised the issue of Balochistan at a global platform. An aggressive position that has exposed Pakistan on a widespread level on the basis of the human rights violations that have gone on for decades now in Balochistan. Now, during the 33rd session of the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva, India also blamed Pakistan for stoking unrest in Kashmir, also strongly attacking Islamabad and putting Islamabad on the back foot yet again when it comes to atrocities in POK and Balochistan. Aditya has more details. Aditya, that statement that was put out yesterday and the comments that were made extremely strong, and it's a multi-pronged strategy. We've started by highlighting Balochistan, but we've also raised Kashmir unrest and POK and Pakistan's role in terrorism.
Well, that's right, Tanvi. For the first time, perhaps in the history, India has raised the Balochistan issue at the level of the United Nations. In fact, it is a multi-pronged approach and a strategy by the government of India. We have been told that for over at least a month or so, the National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, the Foreign Secretary S. Jaishankar, in fact, the Ministry of Home Affairs and all the security apparatus of the country and, in fact, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs have been in contact on this renewed strategy and the foreign policy push of India. In fact, yesterday, for the first time, Ambassador Ajit Kumar, who is India's permanent representative at the UN in Geneva, and also you heard that video where Councillor Mr. Jha of the Indian mission there spoke in detail about the violence and the human rights violations conducted by the Pakistani state, not just in Balochistan, but also in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. In fact, at times now we have been speaking to several of these Baloch activists in exile all across the globe who have been protesting, be it Brahmdek Bukti of the Baloch Republican Party or Hamal Haidar, who is the spokesperson of the Baloch Nationalist Movement, and even, Karima Baloch of the Baloch Students Organization. So certainly these top leaders have thanked Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and now India yet again focused on this Balochistan strategy, planning to corner Pakistan time and again. In fact, today, ministry spokesperson Vikas Swarup came out and said that Sushma Swaraj will be heading the Indian delegation to United Nations for the 71st UNGA session, and she will be speaking at the UNGA on 26th of September. Now, will India at the highest level raise Balochistan yet again? That almost is anybody's guess right now. India is planning to corner Pakistan yet again at United Nations and perhaps, corner them completely because there have been double standards and hypocrisy from the Pakistani side on terror, on any kind of action against the perpetrators of either Mumbai 26/11 attack or even the Pathankot terror attack. In fact, India and Afghanistan have also come together, reaching out to United States. They will be meeting for a trilateral on the sidelines of the UNGA session. And now the wait is that how will Pakistan really react? It has been completely jittery on these reactions coming in from India and Afghanistan.
In the response, they have only stuck to their Kashmir rhetoric. In the response, they don't talk about Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and the atrocities there. They've completely ignored the Balochistan issue, and that is what Pakistan has been doing for all this while. Aditya, stay with me. Also welcoming our guests on this show, Abdul Bukti, Baloch activist who's joining us from Zurich, and Huran Baloch, now joining us from Turbat in Balochistan. Now, Abdul Bukti, coming to you first. There has been an increased number of protests across the world. We saw protests even outside the UN building just a couple of days ago. Do you think more and more people across the world now, after Prime Minister Modi, who raised the issue, are now talking about the atrocities in Balochistan?
Absolutely, because after the PM statement on the ramparts of Red Fort, Balochistan is being highlighted on international level. I mean, we have been trying ourselves through protest and speaking at the United Nations Human Rights Council every session, but there has been so less attention from any international community, especially any country, and it is for the first time that India has highlighted Balochistan on a very important session of United Nations Human Rights Council, and also we hope that this diplomatic support for the Baloch movement will continue, and we will see more support from India.
I also just want to play out what the Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Vikas Swarup said on a question that was put to him about India's statement at UNHRC.
भारत ने यूएन में बलूचिस्तान का मुद्दा उठाया है, क्या आगे भी भारत इस मुद्दे को यूएन में उठाएगा?
देखिए, जब तक बलूचिस्तान में रिप्रेशन रहेगा, जब तक कि वहाँ के जो नागरिक हैं उनकी फंडामेंटल राइट्स वायलेट की जाएंगी, तब तक भारत इस मुद्दे को उठाए.
Abdul Bukti, we are already beginning to see a big change. After Prime Minister Modi raised this issue, President of Afghanistan was in India a couple of days ago, and he too said that this is an issue that media should pay attention to, should highlight what is happening. So do you think now more and more leaders from across the world are coming out and at least acknowledging that this must be dealt with seriously?
Indeed, this is a very huge diplomatic achievement for the Baloch cause and the Baloch struggle for freedom. And I think India and Afghanistan and also Bangladesh highlighting about the human rights situation in Balochistan and speaking up in the favor of Baloch movement is a huge diplomatic achievement for us. And we hope that other countries, especially India, will lead the international community and raise more awareness about the Balochistan situation and also about the human rights violation that Pakistani forces have been committing there for the last 6 decades. So I think it is a very huge development, and we are going to see more support from not only India and also from the other international community.
Yes, and we are seeing that the protests have also intensified, right, from Zurich to even London and New York and Australia. Do you think now is a turning point that could lead to a bigger change in the coming years?
It is because the Baloch activists, especially the Baloch Republican Party, has been raising the human rights violations inside the United Nations Human Rights Council. I myself represented the BRP on United Nations Human Rights Council session every year, and I speak about the human rights violation and update the international community about what is going on there. But it is for the first time, and that is why I say it is a huge diplomatic achievement for us, because it is for the first time that any country, and India being a huge country and also a huge, international community, and it is for the first time that India is speaking up about the atrocities that are being committed by the Pakistan forces in Balochistan, and we hope that not only India but also other member countries of the United Nations will also speak up and join India in raising the Balochistan issue and pressurizing Pakistan to stop human rights violation in Balochistan and give the Baloch people their rights, including the right to freedom and self-determination.
Abdul Bukti and Nuran Baloch, thank you so much for joining us. We do hope that this is the beginning of a larger change for the people of Balochistan, that the world now listens to what is really happening there. Of course, Prime Minister Modi has taken the lead. Now we've taken the matter to United Nations. Thank you both so much for joining us.